Welcome to the Fitish podcast, where I have turned Tums into a meal. Every day. Tums is like a meal for me now.
Really?
I just had some. I haven't.
Like your snack
I hadn't even.
choice?
And Francisco, my sub-Mexican, is going to be joining more frequently, actually. And he is here again today, which is wonderful. Hi, Franny.
Hi, always a pleasure being here.
Have I been a pleasure?
You've been a pleasure for sure, babe.
I'm sorry, I've been up. I mean, just last night, he wakes up in the middle of the night. I've been waking up at 3 a.m. until 6 a.m. every single night. And it's like, now I know that it's 3 a.m. when I wake up.
Yeah.
And he used to give me shit because I get on my phone. But you know how sometimes you can just tell,
But
I'm
that was before
tired.
pregnancy.
Yeah, I'm tired, but I could maybe go back to sleep. But sometimes you wake up in the middle of the night and you just know, like, fuck, I'm wide awake. And that's how it's been every single night. And I even kind of worked out yesterday, but I think I'm just getting to that point that we're halfway there, but I'm uncomfortable and I have to pee all the time. So I have a feeling it's going to be like this
So
until
is
the
that
end.
what wakes you up, that you have to pee, or that you're uncomfortable?
Last night I woke up, I remember specifically
Or you just
because
wanna
my
make-
back hurt and I was sleeping on my back. And at some juncture, you're not supposed to sleep on your back anymore. But I don't think and then I thought I killed the baby because then I had cramps. So then I was getting paranoid. So that's what woke me up.
How would you kill the baby?
Well, apparently, and y'all are going to know this better than me, you have a large blood vessel that runs through your back that carries oxygen. And when you get pregnant, that's why you can't do crunches and you can't lay on your back. But I've been told that you feel uncomfortable. It's not that you don't know it and you're cutting off baby oxygen or your own oxygen. It's that you actually can't breathe very well because you're laying on your back. And so you'll naturally start to sleep on your side. But no, my hips are hurting and the pregnancy pillows we got are way too large. And so I was putting a pillow between my knees. I don't know. Imagine how uncomfortable I'm about to be.
But yeah, it's just
Excuse me.
heartbreaking to see you up like for hours at a time.
Well,
At least you're catching up in your news.
Yeah, I'm reading the news. I feel very well versed in what's going on in the world.
And all the Instagram that you didn't do yesterday because it was down.
Yeah. No, I actually didn't. I don't Instagram much in the middle of the night.
I'm pretty
I've
sure
been
there's
trying to
not much
plan a
action.
baby moon. I've actually been trying to plan, Francisco and I, a baby moon somewhere very far, very cool. And then I keep rethinking it like, this may not be a good idea. Is it worth it to spend a bunch of money? Because it's also going to be falling around his birthday. Is it worth it to spend a bunch of money and do something selfishly for me being pregnant, but also because it's your birthday, somewhere that I think you'd really like to go. But then what happens if I get there and I'm tired? So I have done an immense amount of research on baby moon locations.
Well, after all the documentaries that we have watched about true crime,
I'm not going to a national park with you.
If you told me that we're going to go back to Jackson Hole, I would think that you went with your mom to scout where you're going to kill me.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that all crazy? We watched a Wild Crimes, is a ABC documentary that's streaming. And it's, about that guy, I guess, that killed 2 wives of his, right? And got away with both of them for a little bit because of the way he did it. But they found that he had been going to the national park in Colorado, scouting out this very obscure location, very hard to get to, so he could push his wife over the edge. And a hard case to prove.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, she pushed her over the edge.
But this is the problem. So Fran and I are watching this, and you know how sometimes you just look at your partner and you're like, I don't recognize him and I hope he doesn't keep talking in this direction because I no longer want to have a child with him. Well, maybe you haven't felt that way, but that's how I felt. That's a little late for me. So save yourself, because he goes, I still don't feel like I'm certain of his guilt. When this man has
No, but let's pause it. Let's put a pin. I'm a very objective person in certain things. So with the evidence that we had in the first episode, I didn't feel like, I felt that it could go both ways. Of course, you know that the whole show was going, that the whole thing was going to say that he was guilty.
Not always. Sometimes they leave you hanging on those shows, which is frustrating.
With that situation that we had at the first episode, and if you guys want, go watch it.
Please go watch it. You will all agree with me. I'm certain of it.
He could
because
still be like,
babe, the first wife had died under mysterious circumstances.
I didn't know that.
We did know that at the time. We just didn't know how.
Yeah.
But we knew that the first wife had died.
We didn't know that by the time I said that he could have been
He had
guilty.
no job. He was a fundraiser who made no money, and he would drive around all day.
We didn't know that.
We did know that. These were the first clues that we knew. We knew the sketchy behavior. We did know those things.
We knew that he was a fundraiser. We didn't know that it was all a front, that we found out that in the second episode. What we knew is that he was hiking with his wife and she tripped and fall. You know, things happen. And then he called 911
This is what's disturbing.
a couple hours
That's
later.
something we did know. So he called 911 and his story didn't add up immediately, right? Because it takes you an hour to
could
get
have
down
been
to
on
where
shock.
she was. No. Anyway, like he was very guilty from the jump. And the problem is he kept going, things happen. And it made me go, I'm never going hiking with you in a remote location.
We're never going to go hiking, period. It's not our thing. We have to
I
use
went
our
hiking
feet.
with my mom.
Well,
Okay, I'm the one that's been to Iceland, so don't tell me I don't go hiking. Crazy. Just because I'm not in good shape right now and I don't feel like doing any sort of physical labor.
yeah, normally I like to use
I
it.
ran for like 6 minutes
Oh, wow.
the other day, yesterday.
You show it.
What, that I ran for 6 minutes? I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to take that at all, actually.
No, babe, you look amazing. No, all jokes aside, you look super sexy.
I can tell he's growing a lot right now. Like I've been hurting more. I feel everything so much more. You know, like I feel cramping and stuff.
I'm pretty sure on Sunday I felt him move. Unless
It's
it
too
was
early
apart.
for you to feel him. It's probably that. I feel very full of air.
Really?
Yeah. I hate that. I know women that have had babies who are like, oh, just wait, Jenna, it only gets worse. Well, again, these are things that I think you should watch true crime documentaries together with your partner before you ever think about marrying them, because you can learn a lot from how they...
How objective we are. We don't just follow like the trend of, oh my God, everybody like, oh, for sure he killed her. He could have not. He did kill her. Spoiler alert. I should have said spoiler alert before, but he did kill both of his wives. None
then-
100%
And then
proven. though.
Fran has this obsession with, which it is a very fascinating read. There's a book called Bad Blood, which is the story of Elizabeth Holmes, who was the founder of Theranos, that totally false blood system, you know, blood checking system. Her company was valued at like multiple billions of dollars, and now she's obviously in trial for defrauding investors out of all this money. But her story is very fascinating because she's just such a great scam artist. But Fran's kind of obsessed with these stories, so you really like the story about
Oh,
the
no, I
socialite
like them
girl.
both. I
so
like-
what was her name?
Anna Dalby.
Anna Dolby.
Sarkin or something like that.
Yeah,
her
so
real
she
name.
was that like fake German heiress that defrauded. It was only like a few $100,000, but still, he was like, I found him to be somewhat defensive of her.
It's not
that it wasn't
defensive.
that what she did was that much of a crime, and I'm like, this is not okay.
No.
This was back
Babe,
to back for me on the weekend,
have
and my
never-
stomach started
I never
hurting.
said that it was like I was defensive of any way. What I was trying to say is that I can see how she did it. I can see like her idea. I've never said that anything of any of these was correct.
I'm so
She thought she was about to get away with it because she was scamming little, and then she's trying to scam huge to start covering that little. And with that huge, she was trying to make a business, blah, blah, blah. But it was just a train wreck.
I
for
think for
sure.
me-
It's the psychology behind it is
it's
really
interesting.
interesting.
I
for
agree.
sure.
Evil psychology can be interesting. I think for me, the thing that both of these criminals had in common is that they didn't fucking work a day in their life, and that drives me crazy. It's just people that
Oh, I'm pretty sure
you want life insurance out of your
Elizabeth
wife, or
did work her ass off.
yeah. No, I'm talking about your socialite Anna Dolby, and that there aren't they?
Oh,
doing a
no,
movie
no,
off of
no,
her
no.
too?
And the other guy worked. He had to put up with both of his wives. Like that guy. And he did his time. Like he killed them both at around 10 years of marriage. Like you have to give this guy some credit.
I'm gonna kill you right now. I could get away with it.
In 10 years, you kill me, okay? You just have to wait another 7.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a good thing that we're not married yet. You know, I do, because we're having a baby and we're not married, we run into this situation from time to time. Fran doesn't run into it or doesn't seem to care. You know, and we had a conversation, and to answer your question, because a lot of people ask this, no, we're not legally married yet. It just hasn't been a
Nor
priority
illegally.
for us. And so, I mean, I feel married. Jesus, look at us. But I had said to him in the beginning, you know, especially because he comes from a, you know, Catholic Mexican family.
Yeah.
If it mattered to them, you know, if we need to be married in a church or if we're going to have a baby, had a wedlock, or, you know, I'm just not a traditional person. So, and at my age, you know, maybe if I was younger and we had met, it'd be different. But anyway, he said, no, they had a big wedding for my sister. They don't care. And so, you know, that being said, we were like, well, we're just going to kind of let our life play out and see. And then COVID was like the best thing that could have happened to me not wanting to plan a wedding, you know, because then you had that excuse for a while because it felt stressful. It felt like a lot. And then we were doing IVF. But I run into women occasionally, and sometimes they're judgmental and sometimes they're not, but it comes across that way when, you know, I'm pregnant and they look at me and they see, or I'll refer to him as my fiance, which I should just start calling him my husband because it's kind of all the same to me. And they'll just be like, so when's the wedding? Not when are you due, not anything else. It's so when's the wedding? And I'm kind of like, I mean, honestly, like we haven't even considered it yet. I mean, I think we intend on getting married when we can get paperwork and everything done, but we just haven't been in a hurry. And so, but I get that question from time to time from women and Fran is, again, defensive because he's really nice about everyone in general. He's always like, I don't think they meant it in a bad way. It's just a natural question to ask someone.
Well, I knew that particular person didn't do it with any harm intended because I heard it. So we were like, she was just curious. She was just curious of when was the wedding. I don't think it was like judgmental, like, oh, you're having because they're being that type of people. Oh my God, you're having a baby and you're not married. When are you guys going to get married? That's
I think I was rubbed the wrong way when in the middle of one of my IVF appointments, it was with a different doctor because mine wasn't available and it was with a woman. She's inside of me. It could not get more intimate. And she's like, so are y'all gonna get married? Like very judgmentally. And I was like,
was it a trance?
You were in there.
Oh yeah.
Do you not remember that?
Yes, I do remember.
I felt like when I told her that it wasn't like in the near future for us. I mean, she's an IVF doctor. Like we're in the middle of having a baby. Do you think like the wedding's at the top of our list?
I was about to tell you, we don't get married because my wife will get really upset.
That's actually great. I'm going to say he has to get divorced first. That'll help out. But look, weddings are exciting. And now we're finally kind of back at a time that I think people are starting to go through with their wedding planning or if plans had been on hold for a while. And for me, you know, I intend on doing this at some juncture. It's just got to get the baby out of the way first. But there's a lot that goes into planning. It can be complicated and there's such a fabulous service out there for you now. You need to remember this, what I'm going to tell you about. It's called Zola, Zola. So Zola.com is the one place that you can go and they're going to have your back for all of your wedding needs. Okay. A million couples have planned their weddings with Zola already, but you know, let's talk about it for a second. Wedding venue, right? I mean, think the bigger items, right? Of course, the bigger ticket items, the things that take a lot more planning. Zola is going to give you personalized recommendations, obviously, depending on where you live or where you want to get married. Do you want an amazing gift registry? You're going to have everything you need from classic cookware to cash funds. Cause I know that's kind of a trend now, right? People just want to ask for money for their honeymoon. They'll help you make stunning save the dates, invites, and a matching wedding website. And Zola's just so affordable and how great that you can do everything all in one place. All their planning tools are completely free to use, like a free wedding website. It's going to be the homepage to your gift registry, free shipping and returns you're going to get when you use Zola. You just need to go try it out. So if you're planning your wedding, here's my tip. Start with Zola. When you go to zola.com/Fitish today and use the promo code SAVE50, you're actually going to get 50% off your save the dates. What a great way to try it out, right? Zola is the one place to start for your wedding day. Again, that's zola.com/Fitish, and the code is SAVE, SAVE 50. 50% off. Save the dates. I mean, we've done a little bit of
That's so cool that they even
registering, but for us these days, it's been for baby, right? But yeah, I love it because we're using a site, you know, sort of like that for baby stuff, right? Hey, speaking of this, though, we got a really good question before we change gears, because we do love to take your questions and answer them on the podcast. But Caitlin wrote us, Fran, and wanted to hear our opinions on some things she's seen recently. The first question is, are guys offended if a girl keeps her own last name when they are married?
I don't care. I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's guys that are offended.
You?
I wouldn't. No.
Fran's last name's Rizzo, which
The only
is,
thing
which
is
is a
that
good last name.
the kid is gonna have my name, and then you're gonna be the
Isn't
auditor.
that kind of fucked up? That the baby is just given the man's last name. I look at it as, I don't know about changing my last name, frankly, because I watched a woman at the DMV doing it when I went to get my license renewed. And she was like, this is my third time here. I brought everything you told me. And she still didn't have something she needed. And I was like, what a grind. Everyone says it's such a beatdown to go change your last name. So that's like, my trepidation
No, I don't know,
is
but
time consuming, my passport, all of that. But yeah,
if the last name were to be a Smith, I get it, to be hesitant.
why?
But
No.
when it's my last name,
Rizzo?
like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Privilege.
I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll warm up to it. What about, would you ever consider changing your last name to Owens?
No. No, I would not consider it because I know you wouldn't ask for it. I love Owens.
What if I put you on my life insurance policy and agreed to go hiking with you?
Then we can hesitate. Like there's some discussion to be done.
And then, of course, she asked the obvious question we just talked about. Would a guy be mad if the girl wanted their kids to have her last name instead of his? What if I wanted our...
I think that there's a kosher option there.
Yeah, we talked about having, because we have a name in mind, and so we're not certain that we're going to do it, but it's a name we've kind of landed on, and so we thought about using Owens as either, well, luckily with the Mexicans, you get 4 names, so Owens could come after the middle name. It'd be like the second middle name, right?
I think we should tell the audience our names. It's going to be Jenna, Francisco, Owens, Rizzo, Quintanilla.
I thought you were really going to. Yeah, well, that brings me back to that time that I thought we were going to get arrested and thrown in a Mexican jail, and you gave a name that I didn't recognize, and I was like, this is what I get for going on a date too early out of the country with someone that I don't know very well. I don't even know his name, his real name. No, you just were giving your 2 other names. When you have a hyphenated last name, how do you decide which name to go by? I don't know about that one. I don't really like the hyphenated last names. That's a lot. It's very Jolie Pitt.
But there's some that been hyphenated from generations, so...
No, I think she means if we were to do Owens Rizzo, then how do you know? Like, you can't make your poor child
just
do
about
that.
the way that it rhymes better. You just take it, start a focus group, see what people...
A brand.
How they react. Is Rizzo Owens or Owens Rizzo? And you start like going from there. Like,
We can't figure out without telling you our names. Someone got the Instagram of the name of the baby that we're gonna do, and I'm talking first and last name, which is so fucked up.
and he hasn't answered my text messages.
The account.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I've shared it with a few people, our potential name. Again, we may change it because my fear is that there's gonna be this like serial killer with this
Disaster.
name, and
Someone
we've
has
already
our baby's
decided on the name.
Instagram handle.
Yeah. No, I just think it's interesting that I think someone that
His
knows us
future
did
is
it is what I'm
cramped.
saying. Because when we decided on this name, there's no one with this first and last name. And so the name's not weird by any means. It's just not super common. I think it's gaining a little popularity. It's a unisex
You're not
name.
gonna be able to be a full influencer anymore, baby.
No, that's not the point. It's that when we decided on this name, I was like, oh, we should get an Instagram handle and make it private. So if we want to post some baby photos for friends there, we can. And then the name was taken, the first and last, just basic. And I'm like, someone knows about this. Someone knows about this and got this account, because that's the strangest thing.
Maybe someone overheard.
Let us know if it's someone else.
Yeah, if you know anybody
I mean, I
that
got
overheard.
another variety of it, which is fine. But yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know if we're going to want to use it. I mean, because I don't even think that Instagram, after, especially with how sketchy it is in general, I don't even think it's going to be a thing. Like, I'm not trying to get it for the kid. I got an email address too for him.
But we should make like a little challenge. Like if someone guesses the name, we give them something or we invite them somewhere.
Why?
Just because. Just to make it fun.
Shouldn't we have talked about this off air?
No.
Okay, fine. You know what? If you email us at info@fitish.com and you guess the name correctly, Fran will take you on a motorcycle ride.
Yes.
Girl or guy.
Guy will figure out, okay? If you have a motorcycle guess and we can go together.
No, girl or guy. That's what it is. I think it's a
Okay,
great idea.
sounds
You'll take
great.
them out to
Yeah,
do whatever
yeah.
they want, right?
Sounds
Take them
good.
out for drinks.
Yeah.
Take them to strokers.
Sounds good.
Fran's
We'll
always
do
looking
that.
for someone to go to the biker bar with
But we
him.
are not going to tell the winner till the baby is born.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, go ahead. Get your little hearts out.
Yeah.
No hints.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead. It's not Jenna.
It's not Jenna. No hints. Did you see the update on Baby O? Did you see the video footage? Fran was very upset because, well, this is again what I read.
Oh, Baby O, yes.
What do you mean, what's Baby O?
Oh, with Baby Liz, with having a baby like Baby O, I don't think about the most amazing club in
Fran
the world.
always raves to me about the most amazing club that's ever existed. It was in Acapulco, and he used to go all the time. And it's true. I was reading about the history of Baby O this morning.
Anybody that was a somebody has been in Baby O.
And Baby O in Acapulco, yes. So especially back like in the, I mean, what, from 80s, 90s, it's been around forever, like big celeb hangout, like super chic, kind of. It almost gave me the impression that it was like the Studio 54.
It
like
was the
Acapulco,
Studio 54
right?
of Acapulco for sure.
That cartel burned it down, which is interesting because it's actually been closed for a year and a half. So
yeah, it was closed for a year and a half since COVID, and they were about to reopen it.
I mean, I would have thought something really tragic happened the other day. Friends like, no, he's reading his phone. And I'm like, what? I don't know as you get older, right? Or when you've gone through some sort of tragedy, when you see someone approaching you or they call you like, or can you talk? You're just, I don't know. My heart always sinks. It's done that to me for years. So when anyone does that, when he did that, I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? I immediately start thinking like something happened to one of his family members. He's like, Baby O burnt down. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it was very important.
It's so funny, and I know you loved it. But
you know, a really amazing DJ from Dallas sent me the news right when it happened. She had one of her live dreams was to play at Baby O. So on her birthday in 2013, she went down and she was able to do it. We got her the hookup, and she was the first one that sent me the email, the text message. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's dangerous there.
So sad.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous there. That being said, I mean,
we're going next week to Acapulco.
I've had friends go to Acapulco.
Oh, I was in Acapulco last year.
Yeah,
around this time.
That's a very popular place for like actual Mexicans to go on vacation.
Yeah,
right?
from Mexico City. Yeah, like
because it's drivable.
Drivable is like 3 hours and a half. It is really great. Like the beach is good. It's fun. We used to have Baby O.
So what did you think about this weekend? Fran and I, it's been hard for us, I think, to find things to do together because I wasn't able to travel. Now maybe I can a little bit, but I've been home and I feel kind of depressed sometimes because I don't feel like myself. Like I can't really get up early and go work out. I can't drink. I don't feel like eating, adventurously. Like I never really did anyway. But,
you miss your brains, you miss your tribe.
No.
You miss the tongue.
But I told him, I go, how do you keep, and we're going to bring on a relationship expert on the show too, to kind of talk about relationships when you're pregnant and have a baby. So you can look forward to that.
Can we have it offline before just to make sure that we don't.
That I'm not right about everything? No.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's not about being right or wrong. It's more about just having someone objective and a professional give us some ideas because I think it's really like I don't feel like myself. And so I think it's just hard because I'm bored. But then on the weekend, and his schedule has freed up a little more recently because he was working weekends all the time. And so I'm thinking, well, what can we do that's romantic? Like I can't drink. I can't. And there's not a whole lot to do in Dallas. And that kind of sucks. It's still kind of hot. And he'll go, do you want to go to a pumpkin patch? I'm like, oh yeah, he sounds thrilled to go to a pumpkin patch, which isn't even really my thing right now. And I was like, no, what I want to do is I want to go to a haunted house.
That's exactly how many things we have to do around Dallas. That the option that comes out is a pumpkin patch.
Yeah, or drinking. And it's
that's like next.
You realize how contingent everyone's social plans are around like food and drink because there's really not a whole else lot to.
Like before, I didn't have any complaints about that. Not much of a hiker.
So we did it. We went to a haunted house that I had never been to before. Actually, almost on the way to Waxahachie, right? It was, what was it called?
It was Reindeer Manor.
Abusement Park.
Abusement Park, yeah.
I'm so crazy. So I bought the tickets online
and
early.
She's so surprised of why the dude inside of her is like
torturing me right now.
torturing you right
Yeah, I got
now.
a lot of comments from people when I posted a story that morning. I Googled, can pregnant women go into haunted houses? And then, the reviews are mixed. But I thought I can do it. They said it's really that it's actually fine to go. It's more about heart rate. Like if you're a scaredy cat and terrified, no, don't go. But I'm sick and twisted and I love to be scared and I love haunted houses. And so so we went. You're just not supposed to run or trip or fall. So, I wore sneakers.
You're
Gotta
my
be
sick
careful.
and twisted, and I love you.
You're sick and twisted. This haunted house was great because I've been to some other ones in the Metroplex that are a little more commercial and a strip mall that they've converted, so you're never really outside, you're never really in danger. This place was wild because it was on actual haunted grounds. There's a true history there. Family had been murdered, the next guy that owned it hung himself, 2 of the properties still stand, and so that happened a long time ago. So
And the property where he hung himself is
It's
one
so
of the haunted.
spooky.
Yeah, it's one of the haunted houses.
So Fran and I roll in. We're like the second car to park, and it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, at least for us, coming from city slicker Dallas.
It's
like
in the
us.
middle of nowhere, even for the neighbors.
Yeah, and it was amazing. So we're there. We actually got there 10 minutes. They didn't start opening until 8. So Fran and I are first. We're first, and it's this whole little haunted Woodstock
and
area.
the whole neighborhood, super pretty. I'm sure during the day, but it looks haunted.
This is what I love about a haunted house. And I told Fran, when I grew up in Cincinnati, my mom used to take me around, and there are good haunted houses, but it was always the ones that were more country that were scarier because they were like, this one had definitely more of a budget, but at least in Cincinnati, we would go to some that didn't have budget for a lot of lights. And so you're just feeling around and would touch strange people in there. And I loved that. That was very scary. And this one was indoor and outdoor through
We used to have
woods.
parties like that, but they were not haunted houses. But they were low budget also, but not on the tail. Anyway.
I don't want to hear about your stories at the Senior Citizen Center.
Oh, babe. No, but this place
Your
was
sex parties.
so cool.
We actually, we didn't get to go for free or anything. Everyone was really nice to us, but we had a blast. And then it was just him and I, except I
Yeah.
totally. At the end, there's 4 houses, and so you go in one. 2 of the 4 are filler time, which I think is great because it keeps line spacing apart. So we had to go in a certain order. But so the first one was quick and whatever. The second one I think was our favorite. It was really scary, and then and the third one was again kind of filler, and then the fourth one's the main house, right? And so by the time we get to the 4th house, it's coming at the end of every haunted house. But when you're outside and
But
I'm
we
all
had
hyped
2.
up, and I went first, and because I tried to have you go first, but you were kind of not staying close enough to me without me holding on to you, so I went first because I walk more slowly. But when that chainsaw came out, I just abandoned Fran. I just took off running.
The funniest part is that it happened twice. And in our relationship, it has happened 3 times, where she completely abandons me in time of danger. But
I thought I was going to get arrested and I didn't speak any Spanish the first time. That is fair.
but
Every man for himself,
in
right?
this time, no, I would never leave you alone.
Well, though you shouldn't because you're the man, but every
But
woman for herself.
Anyhow, she runs. The chainsaw guy runs. I was walking, and she runs to the dead end. She didn't even run to the exit. So I had to go
Yeah, I ran behind body
grab
bags.
her
Yeah.
and said, "Hey, baby, I know you left me to die by myself, but I'm protecting you and guiding you through the..."
It made me realize what I would do at a time like that. I would run. I would run and say,
Yeah, because I would,
see ya, baby daddy.
it's going to take me a while. It's going to take
Bye.
that guy a while to chop me with the fucking chainsaw.
But I'm gone by then.
Yeah,
I'm in
no,
the
for
car.
sure.
I'm going to get help.
Yeah, it's like the hunters, they were running from
I'm
a
an
lion.
only child. I was single for a long time, and I don't know. I hope I don't behave that way with a child. I hope that even if there was an intruder, that I would go upstairs and get the baby. But I
Shame.
can't be certain. I can't be certain what I'm
No,
going to do.
no, this-
At least I don't freeze.
No, you didn't freeze.
I ran fast.
You ran fast. I've never yeah. That's why
I was fast. I'm a fast sprinter.
you sprinted to the wrong place.
Yeah. Well, that time I know I went behind
You
all
could
the
have
body
gotten
bags.
chopped.
Yeah. I hate those body bags hanging.
Yeah. No,
you
you
have to
could have.
push
Yeah,
through?
you would have gotten chopped. I would have died.
Any man that lives out in the country with a chainsaw isn't very fit, right? Like you've seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, but it's everything
don't
happens slow
run
motion.
very fast.
You're gonna trip. You're gonna like something. You're gonna end up dead. Period.
No, I'm a survivor. You saw you'd end up dead because all I have to do is be faster than you.
Yeah, but then you went to the dead end, and then you would have gotten chopped there.
Maybe.
It's very unsettling.
I'm sorry. I feel bad about it. You learn a
we
lot
all
about your
have our
partner when you
things,
go through a
okay?
haunted house together.
I know you're gonna leave me to die, and we know we're never gonna go hiking together.
That's for sure. You know what my version of
And I think we can go hiking together. You're safe from now till like 2027.
I'm checking Iceland, that trip I was planning off of our list because that's definitely a place that we don't want to go. You know, Danny, who works for me, showed me something really fascinating that someone sent her that when, you know, they were talking about this other
That one's
case.
gonna push her husband at some point.
No, she's not. That this Brian Laundrie, or however you say his last name, that they're still looking for, you know, that's on the run for clearly killing his girlfriend, that Gabby.
Oh, yeah.
So where he killed her, it wasn't actually in this location, but they did some reporting at the time that's really fascinating, that there's a little sliver of land between Wyoming and Idaho that is technically, because of the way the land was created, it's the national park system. And so it is technically Yellowstone National Park, but because of I don't really know how to explain it. It's just kind of fucked up because of the territory. It's deemed like it's kind of both states, you know, own part of this. And so the point is it's a very small area. It's just a sliver of land. I forget how many miles it is, but it's not like more than 100 miles. But the point is it's land that if a murder is committed on that land, it's impossible to prosecute because of the jurisdiction that, you know, the rule is when you have a trial, you have to have a jury trial by jurors that live in that jurisdiction and no one lives there. And so they say that it's like a murderer's paradise. I don't know why now that I've just told you this, that I'm delivering this for you to look up. But I mean,
All the murderers out there.
yeah, because technically it's both territory of like Idaho and Wyoming. And so anyway,
I hear that they have amazing hikes over there.
I'm never going on a hike with you. The most I'm going to do with you is a Sunday morning walk in Dallas in the city. And, you know, and these days I tend to do it
There's
by
some
myself.
amazing place by the Trinity River.
Yeah, no, I'm not going
Creep
anywhere with you. You're
me.
such a creep.
Picnic table, the whole thing.
You'd be suspect number one. And I'm pregnant, so you'd get double. Dreamy Trinity River. Get out of here. Hey, I did though. I told you I did. I was proud of myself. I hadn't been walking or doing anything. Now that I'm feeling somewhat better, I went on a wog.
I like a wog.
I went on a wog. It was actually more of a talk and walk. And then I did a little bit of jogging. But you know what was great is I had my Raycons in, and I usually listen to music exclusively when I walk. I like music when I work out, and the Raycons are amazing for that. But I actually decided it was early in the morning, and we work from home a couple days a week. And so I called my assistant up here, and I called Danny, who works for me, and caught up with them as I'm doing it. And it was so nice. And I'm like, well, this is great. I just walked and talked, and then I ran and turned on some music at the very end. And of course, I had my Raycons because they're just these are just the best headphones. I love these. I love these Raycons.
Yeah, remember I stole the other ones that you had.
And you know that you did steal my other ones, and they have an all new awareness mode. And so this is perfect for someone like me when I'm alone and I need to listen to my surroundings. You know, it's one thing when you're using them to work from home, but when you're actually outside on a walk, and I like to listen to stuff really loudly, but that can be dangerous, you know, when you're on the street. So anyway, yeah, the awareness mode's super cool. 8 hours of playtime. I mean, I can use these multiple days a week without having to charge them in between because they have a 32-hour battery life and the built-in mic. So you can take calls. And I know you say, well, I have some other earbuds. It's no. These are more comfortable than the other earbuds out there. And they start at half the price price of all the other premium audio brands that you could think of. And they sound just as good. And they come with a 45-day happiness guarantee. Check them out for yourself right now. Fitish listeners can get 15% off your Raycon order when you go to buyraycon.com/Fitish. That's BUYRAYCON.com/Fitish to get that 15% off your Raycons. Buyraycon.com/Fitish. And I'm going to tell you something right now. We were talking about the office this morning. Shipping is a problem. And I don't know if y'all have noticed this. So not just when it comes to my business and stuff like coming from overseas that's getting held up, which is going to create problems for us with product. But we have some customers that have reached out and they're luckily not blaming us. They're blaming USPS. And so we kind of had a staff meeting about it this morning that something is going on with shipping. Like Danny hasn't been getting stuff from Amazon. Amazon's like, we'll just refund you. You may get it. You may not. So they know that something's going on.
Lost,
that
a package last week.
One of yours?
Yes.
So I think it's labor is down, and then I've heard that there's just a lot of bottlenecks of trucks with stuff that's come off the ships, right? That it's taking them like an insane amount of time to offload all this stuff. And if it's already that bad right now, I think the tip would be like, let's start Christmas shopping. I know it sounds early, but it's like,
no,
I think
for
if you
sure.
do it
no,
now, because prices are just going to go up so much. Yeah.
You're not going to get your packages. Like they're so understaffed.
Have we talked about what we want to do this year for Christmas? Can we do, like last year we did lots of presents. Can we do like not a lot of presents?
Yeah. No.
I felt bad. I stressed about so much last year. I got so excited to have a tree that I bought, and we do lots of small stuff too, or some clothes and things like that. But I had so many presents under that tree by the time like December 1st came around that I know he was like, fuck. Was this what they do for Christmas? Is this what this only child and her mom does? And my mom and I we took a few years off doing presents and we would do charitable stuff or, just go out of town together was a nice thing to do. And then I don't know, last year since we were home and it was COVID, it just made me feel cozy. I was like, I'm just going to like buy a lot of small stuff.
It was a good year. Like the year before we went to San Miguel and we had such a great time. This year because of COVID and this and
I'm not going to be able to travel by Christmas.
Stay home. And we just went crazy with the gifts.
Yeah.
And it was a great Christmas. But I'm game to do anything.
Candy and I were talking about it and we thought, obviously we can still do a present or something for each other, something reasonable or something that we each want, something good. But I thought, you're going to hate the idea. I don't even know why I'm telling you. Like, I'd rather just tell you as we do it. Candy and I have agreed.
This is love.
Candy's my mom. Yeah. Candy and I have agreed on this already. No, we thought about spending more money on some experiences with each other. Like I bought really good tickets to the Nutcracker. Yay, the ballet.
Super cool.
Whatever. You love culture.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You actually do. Yeah,
No,
you do.
for sure.
But the Nutcracker was that tradition my mom and I
seeing the
had.
Nutcracker 5-10 times.
You got out of it last year because you were sick. Yeah. They didn't have the ballet last year because of COVID, but I bought a ticket to the symphony and you got so sick that you couldn't go. So I took my mom.
So sick.
Yeah.
I was sick as a dog. Like I've never get sick. Like I haven't gotten sick like in 10 years.
I think you had COVID. Looking back, I still think you had COVID.
It was like a really bad
you were so
headache.
sick it was a really bad headache that he didn't get out of bed for 3 days. And he's never had the flu. He's never been sick in his life. He had a fever and a headache. And I still look back and think that it was your birthday.
Yeah.
It was Thanksgiving. It was terrible. Okay. So anyway, Candy's already thrown out another theater thing. There's like the opera.
Oh, I love opera.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Because they're doing
and I love the
hits.
Nutcracker.
Okay. Do you know how expensive this shit is to go to?
Seen
though?
them once.
What?
What?
Do you know how expensive it is to go to?
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just gotten more expensive because my mom, we didn't have much money when I was
cheap.
We didn't have much money when I was growing up, but I remember it was a tradition every year. My mom would get me a little velvet dress and her and I would go see the Nutcracker. My dad got out of it.
Cute.
Yeah. It is cute.
You should wear like a velvet dress.
A velvet dress. I did. I wore a velvet skirt last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You want to wear velvet too? Do you have a velvet blazer?
Yeah, I do have velvet.
So anyway, that's what I was thinking I don't know how I feel about carriage rides. I've never done one, but I just think that it sounds incredible. But then in theory with a blanket and wine, which I can't drink, or cider, but then you're just behind the poop the whole time. And I've heard that it's just a lot of horse shit. And they park those horses right by where we live
Yeah.
overnight. I have like so many times just wanted to let them all go. Would I get in trouble for that?
Pretty sure.
Is it a felony?
I don't think so. Because you can mask it as animal cruelty, like you're an activist.
Oh, yeah.
You paint them all red or something like that.
Paint them.
Yeah.
Because that's not animal cruelty.
No, because you put like body paint, like something that they can take off later.
Well, anyway.
You can ask them their opinion first.
These are my ideas because I can't travel at that point. I'm going to be huge and jolly. So we're going to do some experiences together. I thought that might be fun. You know, maybe go volunteer somewhere.
I'm game for that.
Yeah.
We used to have this event, Angel for a Day, which was really cool. Like bring kids that doesn't have the privilege that other kids have.
Yeah.
And have them like with a really nice Christmas with Santa Claus, with gifts, stuff like that.
I know. I bet that's
Super
hard.
fulfilling.
We need to, you know, because I used to be able through the radio to go to the hospital sometime and bring presents to some of the families, which was such a rewarding experience to get to do. And you know, so much of that has been suspended. You know, they're not letting strangers into a hospital to bring presents, and so I have to imagine, a lot of that's probably changed. So we'll see.
I'll be
but
super game. to
Super
do
game?
Any of that.
less presents and super game.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you excited for the holiday
Yeah.
and your birthday?
I am excited about my birthday.
What do you want to do for your birthday if I don't take you out of
Rager.
town? Well, it's Thanksgiving, so it always is like that. Do you like that your birthday is on Thanksgiving?
Yeah, well, like I've never done crazy things for my birthday, unless it's my 30th or my 35th. Like I do crazy things maybe once every 5 years.
Whatever. You did crazy things every year till you met me.
No, not every year. But I don't know anything that we do that you're in there. It's amazing.
It's so hard when you're so different than your partner, I think, too, to plan a party or to plan something for their birthday because you always frame it. And I know you're probably guilty of this too. It's like when you plan an engagement or you plan something, you know, you plan something that you would like. And it's hard because Fran and I are actually really different socially. He's social, I'm not. That basically sums it up. But he would love a big party with a bunch of friends. And that's just like not my style at all. I would rather a birthday kind of come and go and we just have dinner or something. And it's kind of acknowledged, but I don't need a big birthday
But you
party.
always plan something based on what your partner will like. I would not plan a party like something I would like. Our engagement would have had 100 people.
Oh, and that was still too much for me.
There were like 5 people.
It was a lot. You had
Your
a
mom.
live stream.
The what?
You had a live stream.
Live stream to your family because it was COVID.
I know. Like you could have rolled over in bed one morning and handed me a ring and I
She
would have been
says
like,
that.
no, I swear on Hefe and Wheezy's lives. I swear on our unborn baby's life. I do. You could have rolled over in bed and proposed to me and I would have been thrilled.
Well, it was a little more elaborate than that.
It was. Yeah, it was. It freaked me out a bit.
Maybe
was
roll
so
out of bed
overwhelmed.
with the 12 people mariachi.
Oh my God. I didn't know. I can't even believe we're talking about this right now. I didn't know how overwhelmed I was going to be. And frankly, I'm mad at everyone that knew and didn't say anything to me because I was suspicious. And I was
They know.
pissed.
They were scared.
I know. I was mad that no one gave me a heads up. I even said before we went over to the hotel that day, I was like, he better not be proposing to me right now. And y'all didn't tell me, you know, and they were just like, it was a lot. I was overwhelmed because there were also like people that I didn't know very well there, you know, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't know why I got all this anxiety, which is so weird because I don't care about, like, I don't get nervous in public or speaking in public, but I think because it was such an intimate moment that it freaked me out. Like, I know I probably didn't react how you anticipated that I would react either.
No, I wasn't anticipating anything. I was like,
yeah. But it was great because you put so much thought into it. You know, I'm just saying you didn't have to do all that for me because I'm more low key.
yeah, well, I did. Like, I cannot
But that
take
being
that back.
said, what would you want for your birthday?
So I really don't know. Maybe for once be with my family.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. I haven't spent a birthday with my family in a while.
That was not part of the plan. That wasn't part of the
That's
plan.
what happens when you ask. That's why I don't ask.
I could arrange that. I can arrange that. We're so not on the
No.
same page, are we?
I really don't care.
Yeah, you haven't been with your family for a while.
Well,
On your
saw
birthday, I
them.
mean.
On my birthday, I haven't been with them since I turned 30.
Wow. When you're turning 40.
I'm turning 38.
38. I'm kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been taking care of yourself? I got Fran to go to the dermatologist the other day. I was very excited about it to get some tune-ups and some lasers and things like that. I haven't seen you frequently taking vitamins, and I'm going to get on you about that because I feel like better than you because I've actually been taking vitamins when I used to not take them, but I know that I've been doing it since I'm with child. Have you been taking vitamins?
Yeah, I think.
See,
I have them in my car.
This is what I need to get for you. No, I'm going to get you Care of because I don't know what you've been taking, but these, are formulated with good for you clean ingredients. Care of, this is the thing about vitamins too, and their supplements, they make it so easy. They're actually going to come for you in daily individually wrapped packets. So you're not fumbling around for a bottle in your car. This is going to be perfect, right? We can call it getting back into routine.
I like it because opening a bottle and putting them in my hand has been the detriment of my vitamin taking.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. It's hard. Look, it's hard to get in a routine of doing that. Danny that works for me takes these and she's very regimented and she's like, I noticeably have felt different since I started being consistent with my supplement regimen, and for me, I'm in a position that I'm doing it for someone else. And so I'm hoping that is
in a hike with.
That's created a good habit for me. So you can adjust your pack at any time. What you get is totally up to you. So you're actually going to take Care of's online quiz. It's in depth, right? So it's actually going to lead you to the correct supplement regimen to address your specific wellness goals. And again, like I said, depending on what's going on in your life, maybe you're all of a sudden really tired. Maybe you've moved. Maybe there's something different going on that you need to adjust. You're able to adjust your pack at any given time. So Care of's great. I recommend it. And I love getting these kind of personalized single serve packets. So if you want to try it out, you get 50% off your first Care of order when you go to takecareof.com and enter the code FITISH50. That code is FITISH50. Again, it's 50% off when you go to takecareof.com and enter the code FITISH50. Well, I feel better about it. It's hard though. I will say it is. It's just hard. Routine's been hard for me in general lately. And I don't know if that's just been since the pandemic or it's probably just being pregnant, just being it.
Pouch thing will for sure makes a difference.
Yeah. Oh, the single serve pouches?
You just take one and you know everything that you have to be taking. You don't have to put them in like little pill servers.
Mm-hmm. So, my bigger dilemma that I've had recently in terms of health and wellness is that I've mentioned on the podcast that we're going to start another brand and it's going to have Delta 8.
How's that going?
It's going good. Branding, I mean, it's great because the branding part's really fun, coming up with a name and a logo and all of this. But, then again, I always have this sense of urgency. But I've learned anything in business when you really start a brand, you can't rush it. I mean, you need to be on it. You need to do it every day. You need to focus on it, but you can't rush it. I think a lot of people want to start a business. And this is just my advice. And I say it to Fran because I think a lot of people, you get really excited about an idea and you just want to go, right? Like you'll skimp on a logo because you just want to have it ready and you just want to start posting photos or selling whatever your product is. And so people tend to rush because it's that point that it's really exciting when you have an idea. But for me, I just believe that, the more time you take in a sense to really sit on the idea and the logo and make sure you're really happy with it and the product and trying it out and make sure people like it. Because I have product right now. I could easily slap a label on it and sell it, but I'm not ready to do that yet. People's first impression is so important. And so that's where we're at. I mean, I have a logo, but we're kind of tweaking some things.
I did some research of my own last night.
Mm-hmm.
I took one of them. And
That's what I was going to say. I cannot take any right now of Delta 8. We've talked about Delta 8 a little bit because, you know, there are elements of Delta 8 that can make you feel
100% love it.
100% love it.
Yeah, that thing is amazing.
Really?
Yeah. It has a side effect that you could control if you have an ounce of more self-control than I do, which is I ate the whole cabinet.
Oh, I was wondering why all those lemon cookies were gone. So it gave you munchies.
Super munchies. But it was like, didn't I look chill? Didn't I look
by the way,
relaxed?
when did you take it? Because now that you say it, you were in an amazing mood last night. And I was like, I love this Fran. You really were. I'm not just saying that, but now I'm putting it together because you took it well before bed. You took it when we were
I
watching.
took it when I was driving home.
You were in such a good mood.
Well, I'm going to start taking it more often.
You were so smiley too.
Yeah, I'm a very yes guy.
Wow, I love these. Well, look at that endorsement. And you felt fine today? You just took one?
I woke up at 5:30 a.m.
And you went and worked out?
Went to work
And you
out.
just took one?
I just took one.
And you slept great?
I slept like a baby.
But you had munchies. But I think the thing that most more traditional stoners recognize is that you can control the eating. You just can't start it. Like, because it's more about not being hungry. It's more about being obsessed with kind of the texture of it when you start snacking.
But it is very even kill. Like I've tried many brands, and as long as you try it the first couple of days and you see how you feel, but you're gonna get the same effect out of the same quantity.
So would you equate it? And and I have to ask these questions because I've smoked pot plenty of times in the past, but I haven't at all really in the last few years of my life. And I went through a phase where I just wasn't interested anymore because I probably got burned out on it. And then now I'm actually really eager to try some of these things. And I can't, like I'm not going to do that when I'm pregnant. The CBD is one thing and I'm comfortable with all those products, but I'm not going to do Delta 8 or, any other kind of other THC kind of products. But would you equate it to like, it's like a mild high sort of like you don't feel paranoid or you don't even feel, cause you don't really like being super
I
high.
don't like to be high.
Yeah.
It is a mild high. But I have actually done a really good research and focus group also.
Really?
Because last time I went to Mexico, I slipped it to my whole family.
Did they know?
So I told them that it was about to give them a mild high.
Oh, so they knew that they were taking something that might make them. And what happened?
So we were all very euphoric. We were like, we've been like drinking a little bit and we were all, and it puts you in an incredible mood. Like
Not drowsy.
Not drowsy.
Because we'd have to make some that had melatonin or something, right?
We had the best time. So it was my brother, my brother's girlfriend, a friend of my brother. My dad took one. He's never taken anything. He said that only made him sleepy, which he went to his room way early and put his headphones on and started listening like to
music.
60s.
He's every time I go over there he's had like a whole bottle of mezcal and he goes to sleep. So it was probably that too. Yeah. This isn't a good test group when y'all have been drinking all night. But you have to have people try it when there's not another drug involved.
What I'm trying to say is that if you want to use it, this particular Delta 8 that she's working with, if you want to use it for recreational purposes, it's an amazing thing to use. And if you don't have any stimulation around you, you just chill and go to sleep.
That's what I was going to say. At what point would you recommend someone take it? If you've had a long work day and you're going to go home and eat dinner and watch TV and want to chill, take
an
it
hour, like 45 minutes before you want to start feeling the
chill.
Effect. Yes.
Yeah. But you're not going to feel paranoid and high and that sort of thing. Yeah, because that's such a turn off.
I'm pretty sure that if people have tendency to feel paranoid, they will feel paranoid with anything. But this is so mild compared to smoking a joint.
Yeah, well, that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Really fascinating. Well, good. Well, yeah. Well, good. We'll have a lot of people wrote us actually after listening to us briefly mention Delta 8 another day. So we're figuring out the right way to have y'all try it because I think there's some liability there.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure we have all of our ducks in a row. But I appreciate everyone wanting to try it. And if for some reason you don't get to be part of the test group, I'll send you some free product when it's there. I promise. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, it's funny because I'm like, there's so much opportunity out there in that space. But a lot of legal issues depending on the state that you live in. And so some states aren't allowing you to ship Delta 8 anymore. Texas, surprisingly, as strict as they are with a lot of regulatory, is not one of them. But there's a handful of states that have shut down the
Slipped
Delta 8
through the cracks.
for now.
For now, but
now.
The way that it slipped through the cracks, it's so deep into the legislation that I don't foresee it being changed.
I think it'd be
anytime
tough
soon.
because it's all, I don't know if it's interesting to people. It's all based on THC content. So as long as it has under 0.03% THC, which Delta 8 and most
And it's
forms
hemp.
does, once you hit Delta 9, that's when you consider that more marijuana, right? But yeah, so this is still, it's like, yeah, it's Delta 8 is like,
But it's hemp.
well, it's all hemp technically.
Yeah, but that's
It's just
after
it's really
Act.
just the THC content. So that's what the bill says. And that's why CBD, even though most CBD has zero THC, I mean, the correct CBD has zero THC, like our products. You'll notice most packaging still says under 0.03. Like you have to assure people that there's like a non-traceable amount of THC. But that's what I think is really important to let people know the difference with Delta 8 and CBD. A CBD gummy, you're not going to ever feel high because there's nothing in there that's psychoactive. But the Delta 8 gummy is a different story in potentially a great way, but also a reason that it's going to be a totally separate brand for me because it's just, I don't ever want to mess with what Fitish is. Fitish is what it is. Fitish is CBD. Fitish is this different brand altogether. So just so everyone's clear on that. But yeah, I'm excited. I realized that I love the branding process, to start. And I think I always knew that about Fitish, and doing that brand part and the creative is so exciting that my hope for myself is that, if I were to sell that business one day, that then I would have another business and that's something that I would excel at. I think the hard part is like once the business gets going, continuing to grow it and deal with all the headaches and legal and everything that happens when you have a business. That I don't think my dream is to like run a business for 50 years, because it's so complicated. I like the creative part of everything, but it's just me.
Yeah.
Well, good. Thank you for being my tester. Please take some more this evening because you were a real pleasure to be around. And it was a pleasure having you today.
Thank you. I'm high.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me.